Broadcasting live from the basement of the Pentagon. This is WTF Nation Radio.
What is this Facebook Live? I've never heard of this shit.
WTF Nation Radio
is in the house.
At the bottom of the ocean, I'm at the bottom of the sea. I'll stay down, down. I'm just stuck here in a dream. I'm at the bottom of the ocean. I'm at the bottom of the sea. I'll stay down, down. I'm just stuck here in a dream.
To see somebody who's never been.
WTF Nation Radio. WTF Nation Radio.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Do you ever have one of those moments where you think, how the hell did I get here? Jeez, what happened to me? I was ruling the galaxy. Had a cherry new battle station. I mean, this place had an omelet bar. A straight-up omelet bar. And now look. My former intern's tossing me down a bottomless freaking pit. You know, come to think of it, my whole life has been a series of what the moments. That was my out.
The voice of U.S. Army, WTF Moments. This is WTF Nation Radio.
I looked my woman in the eye sockets. I told her straight out. I just said it, man. I said it. I said, bitch, I'm the man of the house.
Yeah, you said bitch, though. You called your wife a bitch.
Yeah.
This is a public service announcement from C.T. Fletcher. I will not contribute to the pussification of a nation. Get your punk ass out there and work for it, motherfucker.
Let's roll.
WTF Nation Radio, U.S. Army WTF Moments. Giving you the news, commentary, and discussion over the weekend. Yeah. Flash is out the net, so I got another gunner in the gunner seat. My man Shipwreck. What's up, man?
Oh, not much. I'm calculating for ice here.
Yeah.
Flash, I mean.
Yeah, for that. Oh man! Just wanted to say right quick. Yeah. What a weekend, huh?
Oh yeah. Good weekend.
Do we have a good weekend or not? Did something happen over the weekend that we were supposed to be not paying attention to or paying attention to? Or we're just kind of like, just watching shit happen. How was your weekend, man? What'd you do?
My weekend was good. Saturday, kicked back with the family and did a couple things around the house. And then Sunday, unfortunately, I didn't get to see the whole Super Bowl.
The Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
I heard some good and bad things about it.
Yeah, there were some good things and bad things about it. What was your well, let's talk about it. Let's talk a little bit about what happened with the Super Bowl. I mean, you go ahead. Give us a back brief. What's up, man?
Well, what I heard was that there was some mess ups in singing and anthems and things like that is what I was heard through the grapevine. And Bernie Sanders was there at the Super Bowl. That was a good thing. He was there holding his mittens for everyone, rooting. Was probably rooting for the Chiefs though. And
the Chiefs. Am I gonna? Oh man, the Chiefs. Well, didn't we already talk about? Did me and Flash? I think me and Flash covered it and talked about who's gonna get the game, or who was gonna take the Lombardi Trophy. And I think I made the prediction. I think the prediction was I think I said the Bucks. I don't remember how many points I said. I think I said around 20, 30 points. I can't remember.
I don't remember the exact number you're saying, but I remember Flash was saying that they were like 3 or 4 points ahead.
Yeah, I can't remember. I know Flash right now is probably listening to us, just jumping up and down and like, no, that's not what you said. But anyways, so if you guys don't know, if you guys been living underneath like this, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, the Tampa Brady Buccaneers, the Tampa Brady, the Tampa Brady. Oh man, yeah, there was some butthurtness there. Of course, everybody knows that the Buccaneers beat Kansas City's Chiefs 31-9, and it was I am not a fan of either of the teams, so it's not a big deal. I just thought it was kind of funny that Kaz says the streaker was even better than a halftime show. The Brady Bucks. Yeah, please have the comments out. I will go ahead and repeat your comments when you say that. I will bust another comment out whatever little jingles and lingos there. I thought it was hilarious. There was a streaker there, right? So the Super Bowl highlights is that the Chiefs lost. Then now, of course, they were defending their title, so they were I'm saying whatever. I think Patrick Mahomes though is one of the most badass freaking young quarterbacks ever, because no matter what this kid was getting thrown at him, he was throwing incredible passes, and that's just me. And every single one of them were on target, because every Chiefs receiver were getting hit in the face mask with the ball that they were supposed to catch. I was like, dude, you're supposed to like catch you're supposed to be catching the ball or some shit. I mean,
so they're playing dodgeball is what you're saying.
Well, I mean, yeah, I'm saying if Patrick Mahomes was to hit people across the face from 100, 50, 60 yards, I guarantee it, he would win the dodgeball championship. He was phenomenal on his throws. I mean, he could just not. The guys just couldn't catch it. Has great spin. I mean, just a lot of factors in there for that kid to. He just, I don't know. They're just their defense, their offensive line just couldn't stop Tampa Bay's onslaught. Got sacked. There was a little moment there where he got hit, head and neck, and then got crunched a little bit in the lower spine. It looked like, oh man, I felt several of my vertebrae pop out when he got hit, and then so some of the highlights. There was a streaker. Now, it wasn't really a freaking streaker though. I mean,
he was covered up.
He was covered up. I mean, when I think streaker, I think streaker. I mean,
roll on out.
Yeah, roll on naked, like full on out. Just rips off the clothes and just runs onto the field butt naked. And who would have thought if the individual got caught? So there was a streaker that went out there. And it was was funny.
He gained more yards than the Chiefs.
Yeah, he did. I was about to say he gained more yards. I don't even know what his stats are. I think he's got more stats than some of the yards gained. I think they should have signed. I think the Chiefs should sign the streaker.
After they bail him out of jail.
After they bail him out of jail. Oh my God! Everyone was just like kind of laughing at it. And then he was wearing some sort of onesie. I guess it was a promo for a porno site or something like that. I don't know. I guess I was just not paying attention to it.
I thought he was trying to support breast cancer.
Well, yeah, I thought he had the pink. Yeah, the all new Wendy's Brady Nader. But yeah, that cop did hit him. That's right. He got. You were right in the end zone. He did get hit. He got hit pretty good. There was a flyover that was an impressive flyover that people had questions over. They were complaining and having drama about the fact that there was a show of force showing our offensive weapons of death flying over, stadium. I kind of thought like a military flyover was kind of like a big deal to let everybody know that, it was a military flyover,
Haven't they done that several times before, though?
Yeah, it's always been kind of like a tradition.
Tradition.
Yeah, you just have that tradition there. You're gonna have a military flyover. It was a B-52, a B-2, and a B-1B. 3 bombers. It was a pretty badass flyover. You don't realize they were pretty high up too, because everyone was like, "Look how they're not really big bombers." I'm thinking, no, they're pretty high up, because when you kind of think about it, those are big bombers. The B-52 Stratoforces is a big aircraft. The B-2 Spirit looks like it's not, but it is. And then the B-1,
it's huge. Yeah,
the B-1B bomber. But we never seen any bombers, D-Max. It's correct. Flying over. The B-2 Spirit bomber was flown by a female pilot, female commander. She commanded the entire mission. Everyone was like, "Oh, well, female." And I'm thinking, you know what? She already had she had like 90 combat missions. She's already a seasoned combat pilot as well. So I think she knew what she was fucking doing, flying around, and she was leading the mission. I think that everyone could just drop the hate on her, leave her alone. There was also this halftime show that I have no idea what that was all about. I didn't know if I wanted to cover my kids' eyes or something like that, because when the kids start asking how come they're wearing underwear on their head, that you kind of like, okay, I guess is this am I supposed to let my children see this? Is this supposed to be? I mean, luckily by the time I got to that it was always bedtime. But I was like, God, man, what is The Weeknd? I guess was the guy's name. I really didn't pay attention to the show, to the halftime show at all. I didn't want to. I don't know.
I completely missed it.
Oh, you didn't even see it at all? Oh, okay.
No, I completely missed it, and I'm kind of glad I missed it from what I've been hearing.
Yeah, it was. I guess.
Was it worse than last year?
Nah. No, I don't know. I think the NFL is just trying to reach. They're just trying to reach with stuff right now, and I don't think they're getting it right now. I don't think they're getting it. That's just me. I just don't think it's bad enough that Flash makes me watch this for my radio duties. I kind of have to watch this. I'm not really much of a football sportsing follower as much as I used to be anymore, because of the politics involved and all that crap. And there is some truth to some of the politics, of course, but there are also some falsehoods about it. I thought the Vince Lombardi hologram thing was kind of a what the hell is this? When you got kids not knowing who was this dude? Who's this Vince Lombardi guy? And they're showing him like he's some sort of icon, like he's supposed to motivate you or something like that. I didn't see anything. What was really crazy is that they played the theme for the song, one of the musical score pieces from the movie Pearl Harbor. So it kind of like had a gloom and doom to it. I'm like, what? Is he gonna go nuts, or he's gonna like turn into Iron Man or something? Like, is he gonna go off to war? The way the soundtrack was, yes, it was one of the soundtrack pieces from the movie Pearl Harbor. And I think it was during the time when the Japanese were bombing the Pearl Harbor itself in the movie, using that score. So I was kind of like, ooh, that's like using a funeral song or a bad, I don't know, it just didn't sound right.
They really flubbed it then.
Yeah, I don't know, it just didn't. I didn't think that it didn't. It didn't resonate at all, and it didn't really have a. However, there was a poet, Amanda Gorman. Dude, her poetry. That poetry in the beginning was like a motivating speech. Like if you were going to be motivated to join the military or go off into battle, the way she was talking, she was motivating it. I was like, God, she sounds like, she's like, I don't know, like some military leader or some, high. I think her poetry's cool. I'm not, just the way she was saying it, the way it was pertinent to the context of the game. I thought Amanda Gorman's poetry in the beginning was pretty cool. That was cool. I don't know. It just didn't seem like. I don't know. I guess we expected a good game, but I didn't expect the receivers to do that to Mahomes, man. I'm just gonna say that again. He got. I didn't really. God, man. I didn't really see any. I was like, okay, once the offensive line started going back. I mean, you didn't even see the game, so I know. I mean, I guess telling you about it's not going to be a. Not that you caught anything, but I was just kind of like, God, dude, this game. I expected more. I expected more of the game. You know what I mean? There were some good catches. There was some, but they were either incomplete, they're out of bounds. I'm not a Chiefs fan, so it's just, I'm not a Bucks fan either. So it was really kind of like one of those. Meh. Flash just told me to do this so I can highlight. Flash said to make sure I did the sports page and talk about it. So I kind of got to do my gig here, and so you didn't get that right, Flash. We cool. But yeah, I don't know. It wasn't really my I guess the only some of the little drama here and there is that I guess it was one of those. I guess people were freaking out because a lot of people weren't wearing masks. A lot of people were kind of like, oh, they're having a big celebration in Tampa and all that. And I'm thinking, yeah, didn't you kind of vie for that game to be there? Did you not have anything in control to do that? So
I'm complaining about quarterbacks walking in with no masks.
Right. Well, yeah. Tom Brady walked in with no masks and shit like that. I don't, like I said, I didn't really see the beginning of the game. I was prepping chow, man. I was eating wings, getting ready to get the wings going and stuff like that.
You're getting your main course ready.
Right.
Kickoff, right?
Yeah, just getting I was getting the chicken wings ready. I was getting the fried pickles ready. I was getting the burgers done for the kid. So it was kind of like, man, I was just kind of. What was it? So you didn't hear anything else? You didn't really care? I mean,
I was trying to keep up with it, but I had a family member that came in out of town, and one of those things, had to take care of family on some things first. But I heard a lot and seen a lot of memes on the internet about it. I was getting most of my entertainment education from the memes about it.
Right. That's right, Scott. Let's talk about the game that really matters, the Puppy Bowl. Did you see the Puppy Bowl, the Animal Planet? That's like a. Did you at least watch? Did you at least watch it for the? It's for the puppies. Do you hate puppies? Is that what it is? Shipwreck, you don't like puppies? Is that why you didn't want to watch it? You didn't see the Puppy Bowl? The Puppy Bowl is an Animal Planet tradition where they have, they have little dogs that they have from the Humane Society, I think, out for adoption or something like that, and they have little puppies playing football, and it's cute. If you it's one of those moments like that. Some of the commercials. You see some of the commercials? At least.
Nah. I was. That's one reason why I watched Super Bowls, for the commercials. And when families all of a sudden showed up out of the week over the weekend, it's like, shoot.
Yeah, I hear you. No, I there was some of the more funnier commercials that were actually, some of it was nostalgic. I know that I think didn't Robin Hood do a commercial too? I was just kind of wondering if someone said that they did a commercial. I was
talking about the trading app.
Yeah, the trading app. I don't.
The one that kicked everyone off.
Yeah, the one. Yeah, that one. The stonks and stuff like that. The stonks one. There was some that that USA Today said that the top ones were, I guess, the The Rocket Mortgage, Certain is Better with Tracy Morgan and Dave Bautista. That was the number one. Another Rocket Mortgage with Tracy Morgan and Joe Bozia. The Amazon Alexa's Body, which had Michael Jordan's image as Alexa. The M&M's Coming Together. Toyota Upstream. General Motors with Will Ferrell. Cheetos, It Wasn't Me. That was kind of funny. With Mila Kunis and Ashton Kutcher. And it had Shaggy in there too. It wasn't me. And the whole thing is he's accusing her of eating Cheetos, and she's like, wasn't me. Meanwhile, she's got Cheeto dust all over her lips and her freaking fingers, and she's putting, Cheeto prints everywhere. That was kind of funny. The State Farm commercial with Drake, that one was funny. I was going to play some of this stuff, but I don't want to get in trouble because, I've already been, I was kind of like, I don't want to, I'm already, I got my Facebook, I got my shit restricted already.
In a jam.
Yeah, I got my Facebook account in a jam. One of many Facebooks in a jam. You can ban me, but you can't ban all of me. In a little bit of a jam here. What was the other one? So it was this Jake Farm, the Drake from State Farm. That was a pretty funny one. Doritos was kind of weird with the flat Matthew McConaughey. That was kind of a okay.
How are the beer commercials? They always have beer commercials.
Yeah, the Bud Light Seltzer Lemonade. Everyone's going into the seltzer crap now. Everyone's doing the seltzer thing, even though Zima did that like years ago when most of you weren't even born yet, or most of you were in diapers.
That old one.
Reddit. Yeah, that's right. Reddit did one. I'm like I said, it was the commercials were like kind of like it wasn't really big. Maybe it's because it wasn't a big movie coming out. I don't want to say this because I know Pop Culture Warriors got some stuff, but there were some movie trailers that came out that was pretty cool. Cadillac had the Edward Scissorhands motif one. That was pretty cool. That was alright. That was alright. It was kind of showing different other ones and stuff. So okay, it wasn't too bad. But yeah, it just I don't know. This Super Bowl just again, I wanted to see a good Super Bowl game, but once Budweiser didn't do one. I didn't want to. I thought Mahomes, man. I felt so. Can you feel sorry for a quarterback? I mean, can you? Can you do? I mean, did you at least see the highlights where he was throwing the ball and they weren't even catching it?
I saw some of that, and I had to turn it off after a couple of throws, and I'm like, I'm just gonna go watch something else. And when I was watching the highlights, I was like, not gonna be worth watching these highlights long.
Yeah, I know. I just felt bad for Mahomes, man. I think what they should have done is that for the Chiefs, this is gonna be mean. For the Chiefs, what they should have done is they should have had they should have points. They should have like points or half points for the times that he hit his receivers in the face. There's a lot of face mask catches. If the face mask maybe that's what the Chiefs need to do is put hands on their face masks so that they can catch it.
That's how they were practicing.
I felt exactly that. Mahomes was the only player that showed up to play. Him and the kicker. That's right, Cause. I felt bad, man. I was like, there's no way this kid, the offensive line was just eating him up.
Kansas must felt like they had it in the bag and was overconfident.
You think the Chiefs were pretty overconfident? I don't know. It was kind of like that. I think they were trying. I mean, of course, the fan confidence and the team confidence, of course, is going to be up. But I didn't think that it was going to be I didn't know. Well, I knew it was going to be a close game. I didn't. As soon as the first quarter, second quarter started happening, I was like, "Good." D-Max says, "Did you not see mail-in touchdowns that came in? The Chiefs win." You mean the points were still gained after the game was over? You making an election joke, D-Max? That's messed up, dude.
D-Max is my new friend.
Yeah, D-Max is just sitting there just trolling us with election type like coverage. Maybe are you saying that the scoreboard was hacked? Oh, man, D-Max, that's mean, dude. I gotta mean on they was just 31-9. That's all you could say. You know what I mean? If it's 31-9, it's 31-9. You can't dispute that. But you got to remember, they were defending their title. And now, here's the thing. Here's the question that came back. That came back to it. Did Brady win the game, or did the Buccaneers win the game? You know what I mean? Did it seem like it was more about shut up? It's like shut up, Buccaneers. Yeah, Brady won this. Did it seem like that way? Did it seem like that the perception of that was more of a Brady thing? Brady. Did you seem like it was
on the stuff I was getting from the media? Man, the media seemed like they were making a big hype about it was Brady. You know, he's the team. He's the one that got it for them. Like, it's a big deal. And I what I know about football, it's not always the quarterback. You know, it's also your defensive line. So, yeah, I don't think it was necessarily the quarterback, you know, getting the job done. That's just my opinion about football sports in general.
Well, no, people were just talking about the fact that it was a... I didn't like the fact that they kept Brady it. It was like they were trying to make it the Brady Center of Excellence, you know. they were overdoing it. They were over. It's
got 7 rings already, though.
Yeah, so what? Okay, look. See, and that's the thing. See, I'm glad you brought that up. Someone started talking about he's the GOAT and he's this. And then somebody said, well, Vince Lombardi says, hey, Brady, hey, Vince Lombardi says, hey, Brady, you only got a few more to go to make it to him. He's the coach. So how does it go on to the team, or how does it go on to the individual, what you considered the GOAT? Now, that's a good, you know, I'm glad you brought that up, man. I'm totally glad you brought that up, man. Because here's the way
it's his first year there.
It's his first year there. It's his first year there on that team. But dude, you can't say he's the GOAT when there's other, you know what I mean? Maybe, okay, I'll take that back. He's good at football. He's the GOAT at football. He's the greatest football quarterback of all time. Can you say he's an athlete on that aspect? Can you point the athleticism to that? You know, it's one of those things to where, okay, well, here's the next person. Okay, is Brady good at tennis? Who is the GOAT when it comes to...
It's all about team. It's not an individual. It's a team that works together.
No, dude, people are saying he's the GOAT, right? So let's put him on some... Let's give him a tennis racket and go up against the Williams sisters.
Oh.
Yeah, exactly. They'll exactly that. They'll beat his ass. One set after the next, Venus and Serena will kick his ass in tennis. I think they're the GOAT, too. Oh, how about a game of hoops? I think LeBron and freaking Michael Jordan... Even Michael Jordan now. Michael Jordan now could beat his ass in hoops. Is he the GOAT? Wait, well, how about a round of golf? Okay, let's put him against Tiger Woods. There you go.
What about Dan Marino? Put him up with Dan Marino.
Yeah, whatever, dude. Yeah, or even better yet, UFC. Who doesn't want to see a good UFC match with freaking... You know, what's a good... not Conor McGregor. Who would be...
Put him up with your first starter, and there you go.
Yeah, put him up. Yeah, put him up against Kim Shamrock, something like that. Would he be the GOAT then? See, where's the line on the GOATness when it comes to the GOATness of Tom Brady being the GOAT? Right? Is he the GOAT? Is to label a lot like that? He's not. He's obviously not going to be good at playing some hoops. You know, put him on the line with the Lakers and see what happens.
Put him up. Say he's the GOAT.
He's not. That's what I'm saying. If you are the GOAT, then you got to first pass. You got to first pass Venus Williams. She's the first step. After she has won 23 Grand Slams titles. Okay, after you beat her and catch up to 23, Tom Brady, then you'll be the GOAT with tennis. Now, the next sport. Okay, let's go ahead and play. Let's play some hoops. You can pick the Lakers or the Bulls. Pick your team, whatever you want. But you got to make the match of whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So LeBron James, I can say right now. See, rest in peace, Kobe. But if Kobe was still alive, I think, bam. You know what I mean? So the same thing with LeBron. Dude, you can't say he's the GOAT because he won 7 rings. Okay, he got 7 rings. It's at the over. Okay, so what's the next sport? Baseball. Shit. Baseball would be what? the goat of pitching? Is he the goat? I'm gonna have like freaking Twitter blow up on me and shit. I'm gonna have all the haters going after me. He can't say he's the goat. Who's your favorite bud? Well, I don't consider people goats for what they do. It's like to me, I consider Fernando Valenzuela the best pitcher in baseball, Major League Baseball, because he was the pitcher for the Dodgers. That's my team. Okay. Michael Jordan, LeBron James, those are my hoops. Those are the people. Anything number 23, that's the hoop. Yeah, Nolan Ryan, exactly. To say he's a GOAT, I think is disingenuous to other athletes out there. Jose Canseco, Barry Bonds. What's that?
They have more time under their belt in the game.
Right. So I don't like the
young lad.
Yeah, I don't like the GOAT. Oh, his leadership skills or whatever. Or Horsizer. Goddamn, Dr. Eric, you're going back. Exactly. Brady. Tom Brady. There you go, Kaz. Tom Brady versus the USA's 28-18 Olympic curling team. If you could get a gold in that shit, son, then there you go. Oh, even better yet, Phelps. One of the greatest, the highest medal winning a swimmer, athlete. Okay, Tom Brady, if you can outswim Phelps, okay, that's, bam, there you go.
Imagine watching him play golf and trying to get his green jacket.
Right, exactly. Him trying to freaking get a green jacket and shit. Playing the Masters. Hey, you want to be the GOAT, right, Tom Brady? That would be a funny Super Bowl commercial right there. Him trying to be. So what does the GOAT mean? The GOAT means is you number one in every fucking sport before you say you're the GOAT. Brady versus Lance Armstrong. Pre-surgery or after surgery? With one nut or two nuts? With or without steroids, Scott? You gotta get a light when it comes
salted
to
or not salted.
Salted? Yeah, salted or not salted. Scott, when you're talking about Brady versus Lance Armstrong. Exactly. Go against Arnold. How many Mr. Universes and stuff like that? Arnold will be like, you come on, give it to me. Let's go, Tom Brady. I'll kick your ass. Happy Gilmore. Exactly. See, you can't sit there and say he's the GOAT. He is a great quarterback. Great team captain. Awesome. Did great things for his team. I bet you Belichick's all pissed off right now. Can Brady mime exactly that, Cause? Bo don't know Brady. That's right. You want to talk about Bo Jackson? There you go. Exactly.
Oh, yeah, Bo Jackson. He
played
played more than one sport, so yeah he's the GOAT.
Kareem Abdul-Jabbar can beat his ass in hoops, and I guarantee it he won't say he's the GOAT. Only because I Kareem and Magic Johnson, those are the ones I grew up. Larry Bird or something, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's not the GOAT. See? So now everyone's now changing their mind. Now he's not the GOAT. Is that okay? I thought you said he was the GOAT. He's a great quarterback. He is a Super Bowl winning championship. And that's it.
Yeah, I think after he puts his time in and probably breaks some more records, and he'll be the GOAT. But until then, there's too many people that hold that title for their time in the game.
Well, I don't buy it.
My opinion.
I don't buy it. I'm just saying, I don't buy it, man. He's not the GOAT. And of course, everybody who was not, Michael Jordan was in two sports. He was in baseball. He was in like the White Sox, I think.
Bo Jackson was in football and baseball.
Yep.
I'm trying to scratch my memory.
Yeah, exactly. Ari says you're the GOAT, Tom Brady. Don't you put that me on Ricky Bobby. Exactly that. Let's put him in NASCAR too. There we go. All right, Tom Brady. This
make a lap.
He wouldn't make a lap at all. Raise hail, praise Dale, and bam, he'd fucking crash into a couple cars. You're done. He won't. He's not the GOAT. Like I said, I don't like that when someone says, "Oh, he's the GOAT." He's great. No, he's a great fucking quarterback. He's a great NFL player. He is a legendary NFL player. Great, awesome, love it. But don't say he's like.
It's all about making sales and getting people to read their paper and their media. That's all it is.
That's not gonna
get your attention.
Nick, he ain't gonna fly with me.
Yeah, they should just call it how it is. A great football quarterback. This is what he did. Yeah. Just call it that.
Well, I mean, what other sports? We covered swimming, tennis, golf, basketball, NASCAR. What else we covered? Curling. Let's. I know we can get ridiculous. What is the GOAT?
Oh, watch him play rugby.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, exactly. Oh, are you kidding, dude? He would cry. Dude.
Hasn't he cried before though?
Dude, you're a dick.
So that wasn't nothing new.
Why are you messing with Tom Brady's sensitivities? Lacrosse, there you go. I just saw a video of some lacrosse dudes getting at it. I guess they got pissed and they threw their sticks down.
Game can be brutal.
Yeah, they were. I didn't realize lacrosse could be so mean and brutal. But again, I just don't like the Brady versus Jesse Uji. Exactly that. Choose the exactly that. Oh, there you go, Kaz. Choose the contest: racing or defending America. There you go. I got bets on Jesse Uji, of course. Gymnastics, yeah. Could you see him doing a freaking trying to do the pommel horse or do the uneven bars? Or matter of fact, Tom Brady.
That's the map.
He said boxing. See him fighting. Who's have him fight Mike Tyson. Exactly.
There.
Mike Tyson. Even Mike Tyson would say, "I don't want to hit you, man. I really don't want to hit you." Mike Tyson would be like, "I don't," because you know what I mean. It's just like you don't have to be. Don't say he's the GOAT, because if you put him through the ringer of being the GOAT, oh, we'll get him the GOAT. Synchronized swimming. That's right. It's got to be a sport. Okay, if it was like painting, no, it's got to be an athletic event. Break dancing, exactly that. There you go. Doing some export shit too. Put them on a dirt bike, have or a mountain bike downhill competition. Yeah, so I don't.
Yeah, he would make it down the mountain on a mountain bike.
He would make it down the mountain.
Be on two wheels though.
He would exactly be roller ball, exactly. Hockey, ice hockey, dude. Could you imagine Could you imagine Brady fans if they saw him doing hockey? Like if he just decided to go around the rink with the Tampa Bay Lightning, and just like he got checked. Oh my dude, he would. People would freak if Brady got checked. At least Mahomes will take a hit. At least Mahomes will take a hit. Mahomes was getting tackled, throwing a ball, and of course the receiver bounced it off his face mask. But dude was doing a dive. He was diving and he threw the freaking ball, and Mahomes sailed it downrange. Half pipe with Tony Cop. Tony Cop. Who the fuck is that? Tony Hawk. Exactly. Dancing with the Stars. Yeah, you can't say it. Yeah, exactly. See, a half pint with Tony Hawk, I can just imagine him busting his face. He like I said, so don't say he's the GOAT. Don't say he's a great and outstanding and legendary NFL quarterback. There you go for his team. But he's not.
Think he'll ever get in the Hall of Fame down the road though?
Well, I mean, I don't know. Depends. I just don't think that he. I just think that he's kind of hyped. I mean, there's other players out there that are probably more goat-ish like, but you can't say he's the GOAT when you say he's the GOAT. I just don't like the GOAT thing. It's just like he's the greatest of all time. Okay, if you say he's greatest quarterback of all time, okay, gotcha. There you go. I can accept that.
No. I don't think he's the greatest quarterback of all time.
Ooh, good one, Ari. A rodeo clown. There you go. Get him on 8 seconds. That's right.
Is that a sport though?
What, being a rodeo clown? Have you seen those freaking rodeo clowns? How would you just say? Okay, how about fine? He can just.
I'm not clowning on the rodeo.
You're not clowning on the clowns, because I'm telling you what. Have you ever been to a rodeo, bro? Those clowns, they God, I don't even want to call them clowns.
They do their job. I'll
right.
hand it to them.
Hell no.
Is that considered a sport?
Right. Well, no. Well, I'll tell you what. Then if he can handle 8 seconds against the National Rodeo Association's professional rodeo associations meanest freaking bull, he gets on.
He wouldn't even last 1 second.
He would get yeah, as long he can last 8 seconds throughout the night on the meanest freaking bull, El Diablo, a bull named El Diablo, or cheerleading. There you go, cheerleading. If he can't do a pyramid,
No, the bull run.
Oh yeah, the running of the bulls. Exactly that, Tom Brady. You say you're the GOAT, huh? Get your ass out there in Pamplona, Spain, and see if you can run with the bulls. Exactly. Oh, that's a good one, Scott. We should get all the goats together and have a celebrity death goat match. A goat match, exactly. Tony Romo is the GOAT.
If he's the GOAT, let's send him to some of these military schools.
Ooh, yeah. Send him to Ranger School.
Yeah.
Send him to Ranger School. See how, or send him to Sear School.
Oh yeah.
Send him to Sear School once he gets into the labs and whoosh. I don't want to do this anymore. I quit. Oh man. I just think that's fucking funny. I can't. I don't think he's the just because something only lasts 8 seconds doesn't mean it's not fantastic. Oh man. Ooh, send him to basic. That's right, Cos. No, if you're the GOAT, send him to all basic trainings. So send him to we'll start him off light. We'll just start him off first with down the road.
Well, if you gotta start like, what would that be?
So you would start. Okay, well, you would just start it off on one of the oldest service. The oldest service, I think, is right. What, the Coast Guard? The Coast Guard. Okay, so he goes to Coast Guard basic training. Then he goes to Navy boot camp. And then he goes to Air Force boot camp. And then he goes to Marine Corps boot camp. And then he goes to Army basic training. And then once he graduates Army basic training, he's got to go to Ranger School, Sear School.
Well, wait a minute here. What about Space Force? Are they going to have a basic?
Why you got to joke about Space Force? You trying to summon the Space Force admins?
You cannot forget that branch now. They are a branch.
Okay, well, they are a branch. I don't even think they have a basic training established yet.
I don't think they do either. So
I think right now, if you want to go join the Space Force, I think if you want to, Green Platoon at 160th. I think if you want to go Space Force, all an Air Force person has to do is, I don't know, do a correspondence course or something like that and fill out an application. Do an online course or something like that and hang on. Exactly. Space Force. I want to see if Buzz gets on here. Because he was fucking. I was summoned that he was messing with me in the chats. But anyways, yeah, dude. He better not. He might punch a drill sergeant in the face. Again, I'm just saying. I'm just I'm just thinking. I'm just thinking. Well, what happened if he would show up to all those military trainings? Will he be the GOAT then? Then what do you call it then? I mean, and then it's again. I just think it's he's not a GOAT to the GOAT. He's not goatified or something. Again. So now he not only does he have to be everybody in their specific sport, but he also then has to join every branch of the military to go through their basic training before I consider him a GOAT. That's it. Space.
Not necessarily join, just go through the basic training of all services.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. I mean, yeah, okay, yeah. Maybe I shouldn't have said join because having experience, dude. He'd probably cry like in the first 3 months. He might. I mean, he's in shape and stuff like that to do like football drills, but. Do you honestly think that he's going to be? He can put on a rug.
Well, he'll have the athletic part down.
But I'm saying, do you think he can? He can ruck or something like that. Exactly that. Skip airborne if he can beat Felix Baumgartner's record, which is the edge of space. Space formals are not called space balls. That's right. Yeah, it's again. I'm not gonna go there and say he's the GOAT. But I will say that Patrick Mahomes is a badass and awesome quarterback, and he's got an awesome future ahead of him. He'll definitely dominate. He's got to get back. I think he's got some surgery or something like that he's got to do. But I think Patrick Mahomes is going to be a good future for his team, unless he gets traded out or something like that, or the Chiefs let him go. But I don't think they're gonna let him go. So. Like I said, hey, at least he got one though. At least he already got. I mean, think about it, he's like 24 years old or something like that, and he already got a Super Bowl ring. Impressive, most impressive. So I mean, I don't know too many 24-year-olds that have Super Bowl rings. Do you?
No, Actually, I got one in my closet. Just don't ask where I got it.
Did you know that when teams lose their games, there are several nonprofit organizations that send the losing teams jerseys and T-shirts and memorabilia to countries that need clothes? So
no, I didn't know that.
So right now there's some country in Central America or in East or West Africa or South America. They're sporting Kansas City Chiefs shirts.
So they're supporting freedom and liberty.
Maybe Brady will come to Dallas. See, that's a good point, Cos. So now Brady's going to be like this interchangeable quarterback. Someone's going to offer him some money to go play a game, and then there you go. He's going to be like the. That
won't work out for him because they're going to give him a high standard, think they're going to get the Super Bowl every time with him, and it's going to be where he can't.
Does it sound bad for me to say he's going to be prostituted out he's going to be like that kind of that type of quarterback? You know what I mean?
He's going to be a $2 hoe.
He's going to be a $2 quarterback. Oh man! I just want to give a shout out to Jay Reddy. He's out there doing some stuff. I think he was out there doing some shit in the woods, broadcast living it. So, but again, he's not the GOAT. He's a guest quarterback. He's not the GOAT. That's just it. Man, I think that was the only drama that happened in the Super Bowl. What else? Anything else happen? Aside from now, I guess the mayor of Tampa is going to now summon the police to go out and identify individuals that weren't wearing masks. So now with facial recognition, I guess the butthurt of COVID is now coming out, and I'm kind of conflicted on that.
Isn't there? Gotta go look it up, but isn't there like some bill they're trying to pass or some department or something to use drones for facial recognition or something here in the U.S. or something?
Well,
like that?
I think the biggest thing is that I think Florida is under no masks, anyways.
Right.
There is no. So I don't want a mask mandate by a specific state. Then I don't think Florida has one. So for someone to sit there and say, "We're going to go after you," then we're going to. It's kind of messed up. It's kind of like, well, if the mayor says, the mayor is going to create a city ordinance. Is it a city ordinance? Because right now the statewide order for Florida is none. There's not one that requires face coverings for the general public in Florida. Several cities and large counties have mask requirements, but the local governments are barred from assessing fines and penalties for noncompliance. So how are they going to enforce that?
They can't.
They can't, right? But
making highly suggested.
They could. What I just say, man? They cannot. They're barred from assessing fines and penalties for noncompliance. So what do you do? Not let them come back to Tampa again? You're not going to let them come. I mean, because there's other states that are nearby that, like Georgia, didn't have it.
He's going to be on the no-fly list.
You're going to be on the no-fly list of Tampa. You can't. You can't. You can't fly in. I mean, other states have policies like that, but they're not even enforcing them. So you can go to one state and it's got a serious freaking lockdown and everything and all that.
Then Florida's sending their kids back to school too.
Well, they're talking about that. Yeah, I'm not too much on that, but anyways, yeah. So I still see what happens. I guess we'll see. The TSA is finding. See, D-Max is exactly what we're ready to say. Is that the D-Max has spoken. The TSA is finding up to $1,500 for not wearing a mask. Up to. See, they're not even talking about the exceptions of policies. I thought wasn't there like some supportive, supposedly an exception of policy that if you had a medical condition and all that other jazz, or you had a child with special needs and were required to wear a mask. You know what I mean? Have you noticed that requirement's been shifting back and forth? You notice that shit, right?
Yeah. If you got a medical condition, it's just how it is. don't wear a mask if you got a medical condition. That applies to a mask.
Right.
Not all medical conditions apply for the mask.
We'll see. We'll see. Hey, we're going to take a break right quick. We're going to have our guests coming on, which I can't wait. We're going to have Bret and Jason from Warhorse for Veterans to give us an update. I haven't spoken to Jason in a while. It's been like almost a couple years, a year or so. Has it been a couple years? I don't know. When the last time I went out there? Shit, I'll catch up. But anyways, they're going to be coming on in a minute and talk about some of the expanded, how Warhorse for Veterans has expanded on some of their stuff, and I can't wait. Specifically geared to first responders. So we'll be right back, and everyone go to hit the bathroom, refill your glasses, smoke them if you got them, and shots.
WTF Nation Radio. WTF Nation Radio.
Take it from me, Ice. You can't just float around space not caring about stuff forever.
The voice of U.S. Army. WTF Moments. This is WTF Nation Radio.
Shit in the bag, Pogue.
Sirens are going off. Another rocket attack. I've got my boots and got my ammo in my 50-pound sack. A 100 boys headed to war in this world unknown. The only peace of mind I've got are these letters from home. Another day has come and gone. Another night attack. I've tried to talk and tell you about it, but it ain't the same. All these thoughts that run through my head, well, they can't be tamed. Another day has come and gone. Another night I'm all alone. I didn't think I'd be this far out here.
Another day has come and gone. Another night I'm all alone. I didn't think I'd be this far out here. We ain't far from Kandahar.
If that's really a thing, and I get authorized to do it once, it's pretty much gonna be me sitting there talking shit, like, constantly.
I am here determined to stop this future atrocity.
This station is now the ultimate power in the universe. I suggest we use it.
The voice of U.S. Army, WTF Moments. This is WTF Nation Radio.
I find your lack of faith disturbing.
Everything stated on WTF Nation Radio is to be considered the opinion of the person that stated it, and not an official representation of WTF Nation Radio or U.S. Army WTF Moments.
Price does not include tax, title, or license. Some assembly required. Each item sold separately. Batteries not included. Objects in mirror are closer than they appear. If conditions persist, contact a physician. Individual results may vary. Keep out of the reach of children. Avoid prolonged exposure to direct sunlight. Keep in a cool, dark place. And
please enjoy the show. Shots.
And we're back. Part 2 of the Monday edition with my friends and guests. Jason Klepac and Bret Cortright from War Horses for Veterans. What's going on, gents?
What's going on, man?
Oh,
how's it going?
Man, it has been forever, Jason, since we spoke. What were we just saying, 2 years or something like that?
Yeah, it's a couple of years, man, since you were out in Kansas City.
Yeah, I'm going.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm going back out there. We'll, like you said, Bret, we're definitely going to have some live broadcasts. But, anyways.
Don't come right now. It's like 8 below.
Yeah, that's why it's
snowy and icy.
Yeah, that's why I said I'm going to come out there when it's better. Better. Well, the last time I was out there during the beginning of fall into summer, I think. Which time? There's been a couple of times where I hung out there, but yeah, it was fairly warm. Yeah, none of that snow and icy crap. Because I saw I've been watching your videos out there and your posts, and yeah, it's cold. So, anyways. Welcome to WTF Nation. Yeah, welcome to WTF Nation Radio, guys. I mean, you guys are our friends, sponsors, and all that, and we love shooting the breeze, and we love catching up with you guys. This time, you guys are going to give us an update on something new to War Horses for Veterans. So, Jason and Bret are here to talk about that. So, guys, whoever's first, you guys go ahead and tell us what you guys got.
I guess I'll go first, Bret. You don't talk much anyway. So yeah, we'll back up, man, to about 2017. I kind of started doing some volunteer stuff out there. I was actually on patrol and saw a sign on a fence and started asking some questions. And then I ran into Patrick Benson, who's the director out there, and started talking to him. And then over the course of the next about 2 years, I kind of, during volunteering, just helping out with the veteran groups, I had mentioned to Patrick that we needed a program like this for first responders. And I kind of pitched it to him and got with a friend of mine who's a forensic psychologist here in the metro, and she's probably one of the top 5 in the country. She's very, very good at what she does, and pitched this to her, and then put all the pieces together and laid out the plan, and then boom, COVID hit. So we kind of had to put it on the back burner for a little bit. But yeah, man, we're up and running. Things are going really, really well. It's kind of taken off a little faster than we ever thought it would, but that's good. I mean, this year it's just going to get bigger and better. It just keeps on catching steam as we go.
Now we also got a picture of the up on the screen right now of the indoor arena. I know that has been some of the biggest projects that I've been following you with personally. It's up and running, right?
Man, that thing is up and running. It's heated. It's cooled. We got 300 tons of sand in there. It's going, man. It's an awesome. You got to see them. Rockstar Amish guys put that thing up in about 3 weeks, dude. That thing was totally up. It was insane. I was out there just jacking with them the whole time. We actually had one dude put a nail through his knee, and went home, pulled it out, and came right back the next day and kept working. Man, those people are tough. I'll tell you what.
Okay.
It was insane. It's nuts.
Ezekiel, what's wrong with your hand? Nothing. I'm good.
Well, I kind of do like a safety brief every morning, every Monday morning, I guess. And I'm like, hey, everybody good? Anybody injured? Well, so-and-so put a nail through his knee last night. I'm like, okay, that's not what I want to hear. That's a liability thing, Yeah, it was pretty crazy. And, yeah, they just marched to be their own drama. And he was back up in there and putting that thing together, man. But, yeah, it's great. And attached to it's our nice new lounge. And next time you come up, you have to check that out. And it's insane. It's insane.
The last time I was there, I did a walkthrough live broadcast, and it was shit. We had you guys had just put the sides up, and you guys were about ready to do the sand, and you guys were doing the pipe fitting for the kitchen and the lounge. So you guys, now tell us about the kitchen stuff. You guys were talking about getting some cooks or something like that.
Well, we got Bret. I mean, he burns most of the shit, but it ain't too bad. It's better than MREs and stuff. But Bret, I'll let you talk about the kitchen appliances. I don't go near that stuff. I don't have the right qualifications.
Yeah, so Jason pretty much eats there, and that's about the extent of his,
Hey,
impact on the kitchen. But no, we have a really good kitchen. It's designed with a kitchen island, almost like a hibachi style, but think really high end. And it's designed to, when the chef's cooking or one of us is cooking, everybody that's there, all the participants, they're able to sit and enjoy. They're able to watch the chef do his magic. And, we're starting to find out that there's a lot of vets and first responders that get therapy from cooking. So we, Patrick's big into the culinary program. He's got up and running, and, it's just a lot of the chefs that we use are Kansas City area chefs, and they're executive chefs in their own respective field. And they come out and donate their time. And, it's just it's a great environment. We have a really nice sized refrigerator, freezer, steamer, a couple ovens, and a flat top. And it's something to be reckoned with. So.
Now, this is this part of the program in itself to have the culinary therapy, or is this something new?
This just kind of goes hand in hand. So when we run a group through, Jason and I will be out working with them, in the arena or outside. Patrick will either do the cooking, or sometimes I'll even step in and let Jason do his thing out in the arena, and I'll start cooking. I think last week we had a class of local PD. They came out, and I made 3/4 pound burgers, and it was just something real nice and mostly healthy, I would say. But they enjoyed it, and it's part of the program. It's part of the day is lunch.
Burgers are healthy. What are you talking about, man? That's the best part. I mean, that's
it is.
Hey, there's a waiver. There's a waiver you got to sign. It's not for the horses. It's for Bret's cooking. I'm telling you guys.
Yeah,
that's the way it is.
I will.
I've never boiled water and burned it until I came to Warhorses. So
I will sign.
It happens.
I will sign a harm release statement that to test out and be a. I guess I'll be a judge. Maybe you guys can have a chili cook-off or something like that when I get out there. And
I made a venison chili one time for a group that came through. It was real cold out, and that was right on the money. So.
Oh man, yeah, I'm definitely gonna.
Awesome, man.
Definitely gonna try it. So Jason, actually both of you guys, have been primarily law enforcement individuals. So can Jason, can you tell us your experience in law enforcement?
Yeah. So I started back in on the civilian side. I started in 2004 with the local PD. And then, as my family grew, I needed to make a little bit more money. So I moved up to the city and started in one city, then finally moved over to another one. And so I finally retired in 2019 in March, I guess it was, and then came on full-time at Warhorse. But me and Bret were actually motor partners. We were like chips, man. Every day, 18 inches from each other, crash bar to crash bar for 4 years. And then somehow he ends up working full-time at Warhorse. I'm like, for the love of God, I thought I was done with you. But yeah, man, we were traffic guys. We were reconstructionists. We worked crashes primarily. I did the SWAT thing for a couple of years, and that was a blast. Learned a lot. But yeah, so total about 15 on the civilian side of the house, and another 2 years on the EMP side of the house in the Army. So yeah, did a little everything, man.
All right, so Bret, I mean, we've just met right now online. So can you give the audience a little bit of your experience?
Yeah, so I actually started my career back in January 2006. I started at the Johnson County Sheriff's Department out here in Kansas and worked detention for about 2.5, almost 3 years. And then I moved over to Lenexa PD. I don't know if I can throw names out there, but I worked for Lenexa PD. It was a great time. That's where I worked with Jason. But I was assigned to the traffic safety unit as well. I did, heavy vehicle enforcement. So I did all the DOT and, hazmat stuff with the city, and also rode on the motorcycles with Jason. So we did that for about 5 years, and I was able to get out and move into the corporate side of things, selling the 360 laser scanners for a company that specialized in crash reconstruction. So did that for a handful of years. And Jason and Patrick, I started volunteering out at Warhorses, I think around March of 19, just kind of going out there, went through the program myself, and just got more involved. And I was approached last June and was asked, hey, you ready to come on full time? And July, I started full-time with War Horses, and it's been an awesome ride ever since.
That's awesome. Okay, so whose idea was this to get something for law enforcement? I know. Those in blue have had a pretty rough couple years. So what was the brainchild behind this? Whose idea was this?
I think that'd be me. This is kind of an idea that kind of morphed into this what it is now, and it's going crazy, man. I mean, Wednesday we have the IACP coming out, which is the International Association of Chiefs of Police. We're doing a 30-minute session for their symposium that's coming up later in the month. But so now not only are we just started out as a metro program, it turned into a national program. Now it's on an international scale. And, I definitely didn't see it getting that big. I just was like, hey, let's just start here small first. And, and that started just really because of COVID. We started back in what, Brett, like May of last year?
May of last year is when we really got it off and running. And last year, May to December, I think we had around 500 first responders come through the program. And, some of them are vets as well. So a good majority of your first responders are vets also.
Now, what was the need that you feel for? I mean, was it because of what you've seen from what War Horse Veterans done for veterans already, or what was the spark?
Yeah, I mean, if you think about it, from a veteran point of view, from the military standpoint, is when these guys and gals get deployed, I did a couple deployments myself. I didn't ever have the privilege to go to Iraq or Afghanistan, but I was over in the Balkans area and stuff like that. But if you think about all the trauma and all the the things that we're exposed to, it's a short amount of time. Sometimes we do a year stint. Some of the guys have been back for 5 and 6 years. They've multiple deployments, and that over time that takes a toll. But then you think about first responders and specifically law enforcement. What me and Brett were. That's the only life we really lived. We didn't live fireside or anything like that. But it's equated to like a constant IV drip of all that stuff. I remember my first day on the job. Didn't even have a gun yet. You can believe this? I was sitting watching videos, but my first day, I heard on the radio, "Where's the new guy?" And the sergeant's like, "Oh, he's back at the station." They picked me up, and I went to an 18-year-old that hung himself. That's the first day on the job. Then I went to the autopsy, and I came home. My wife's like, "Hey, man, how's your first day?" I'm like, "I don't want to talk about it." Are you kidding me?
Right.
I can't even spell autopsy. So that's a constant everyday event and occurrence with these guys. And some of these guys, they go 25-year, career with that constant call of one bad thing to the next. And over time, that takes a toll on you mentally. When you're exposed to that much trauma, it's not any good. So you have to find an outlet to decompress. And that's kind of why we launched the first responder program. Said, hey, we got to do better.
Now, has any agencies out there within the local Kansas City metro area seen that there is a need? Has it allowed for some discussion to say, hey, look, maybe we need something for the first responders? You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. So, Brett, I'll let you tell them how many agencies are involved with this and kind of what's going on there.
So we have on the books right now, we've serviced basically 13 agencies across Kansas City. To Kansas, both sides of the state lines. A couple weekends ago, we had a sheriff's deputy come in from Illinois. It was kind of a special weekend, but it was an awesome experience. A lot of stuff came up, and we're growing it, and a lot of the departments are seeing a need for our program. There's been several one-on-ones, and Jason, he can talk to that a little bit more too. But our forensic psychologist, she's been sending us people, right and left, individually that need individual time with us. And it's showing a very positive change in their life, change in outcome. They're finding hope again. They're finding energy to get back in the game. Some of them are leaving law enforcement and moving on to bigger and better things. And some of them are sticking with it. And we're just kind of the people that really help them find themselves through horsemanship and, learn to self-regulate, learn to breathe again. And it's really, really come a long way, especially in the one-on-one programs. Agencies are really starting to see a need for our program.
Now, does that also spark the need for city, or I guess you would say agency, governments to go, hey, look, maybe we need to fund some of this stuff. Maybe we need to develop our own. Or do they just say, hey, look, equine therapy is the best, you guys run it? You know what I mean? What's their attitude towards it?
Well,
Well,
right
I
now,
think our hope. Yeah, go ahead, Brett. Go ahead.
Well, I would say right now we're run on just private donations, from the public, some private foundations that, generously donate to us to keep the lights on, keep us doing what we do best. There are agencies that I see down the road might push us into like a budget, I hope. But right now it's, free to them. It's just through public donations. So that's our guiding light is the people that support us financially, and even people that donate in kind. So it's, I could see it eventually getting to a point where agencies are going to say, hey, it's time to cut it and let's start helping these guys out because there's a need and we already have budgets for those, mental health and physical fitness. We should put this in there. That's what I would hope to see down the road. Right.
No, I guess that's what I was kind of like leading into, that you would think that something like this that would be helping first responders would be. As a matter of fact, have they given you any metrics? Have they returned any data to you guys saying, hey, look, this really is helping?
Well, we do have a so what we do is we when the individuals get there, I kind of sit them down and just give them a brief overview, like, hey,
right,
this is the few housekeeping things, and we obviously have them do some paperwork as far as a waiver goes, and then I have them do a intake assessment form, and I have them rate their own anxiety level, their own stress level, stuff like that. My wife actually made the form, and it's pretty damn hilarious. Anyway, so and then at the end,
she's gonna kick your ass, dude.
A post evaluation. Yeah, we do a post evaluation. She ain't listening. We're all good.
Okay, cool.
A post evaluation form too. I kicked her out. I'm in her office, but that's okay. So we take the numbers off of that, and so far we've seen about a 50% reduction in stress and anxiety, which is awesome. And I think what really is the factor that goes into it is, when they get there, they obviously think, oh, great. So traditional therapy didn't work. So now we're going to throw in this 1,100-pound animal. Great. Well, it's not that. None of us like the traditional one-on-one. I shouldn't say none of us, but some of us do not. It just isn't our cup of tea. And this works. I tell them straight off the bat, hey, look, if you want me to be your therapist, you're going to leave here more twisted than you came. This isn't what we do. Right. You're going to get what you need to get out of this, but you're going to get it working one-on-one with your horse. I'm not going to be there asking you how you feel every side. That's not my deal. I'm going to show you some things with this horse, teach you the basics of horsemanship and all the way up to the advanced horsemanship. Through that, you're going to get your own direction and your own purpose, and you're going to learn things about yourself you never even knew, just by learning how to be a good leader, learn good communication skills, and watch it pay off, through your horsemanship. And so far, man, we've been hitting home runs, man. I mean, that's just, we tell it like it is, and there's no unknowns. None of us vets or active military or law enforcement, first responder world, whatever, nobody likes unknowns. We like, exactly what's going to happen, when we're going to do it, and how we're going to do it, and then we execute. And so far, that's our game plan. And man, we've just been killing it. It's been awesome.
That's awesome. Now, has the agencies come back? Have you gotten any feedback from the agencies saying that, hey, and I put a couple of my deputies or a couple of my patrolmen and women in your program, and it's helped out. Have the agencies given you any feedback?
Yeah, they have. And the way we get it, the feedback, is through different individuals that have told us, or matter of fact, it's actually been the spouse of the individual who's come through.
Oh, wow.
They've called us and said, hey, we've really seen a change, just in their attitude or the way they're more present. They're able to have a conversation and actually be there. Most first responders have the crazy ability to be present, but not really be present, like lights are on, nobody's home type of deal. So we've really had some good feedbacks from the spouses themselves saying, hey, we appreciate what you guys are doing. We've really seen a difference in them. just in the way that they're acting, you know, all that stuff. So that's really been cool to see them give us that information. Plus, the spouse usually ends up coming out to see what it's all about. And we did a couple test runs with the spouse program, which we're going to continue to implement this year, which turned out really well. And we're just going to keep rolling with it too. It's a need, and let's do it. You know?
Well, wait. So there's a spouse program now. Is this new? Is this?
Well, it's something that I kind of wanted to implement this year. We kind of test run it a couple times last year. I think we did 3 groups. Is that right, Brett?
Yeah, 3 groups.
The first one, wow, it kind of took me by surprise with some of the feedback. I know there's about 15 people there.
Uh-oh. Was it good feedback? What was it?
Well, you know, I mean, we're not exactly to the creating a program to help our potty train our kids portion yet using horses. That was a request, and I was like, okay, next question. You know, so I brought them in and kind of gave them a brief overview of what we do, and then obviously fed them some good food, and you know, sat down, just asked them, you know, well, what did you like, what did you not like, and kind of did a little AR, you know, at the end of it. And we had some good feedback and then some not so good feedback, but that's okay, right? I mean,
right.
I want to know, you know, if we're doing the right thing, or if we're not, if we need to improve it, man, tell us. I always tell them at the end, hey, on this evaluation, if you don't tell me that you didn't like the food, it's going to be bad for the next guy, you know, so please tell me.
Right.
Yeah. So we took a little bit from that one and learned, and then we did another one and it went pretty smooth, and did another one and it was even smoother yet. So I'm excited for this year for that program to kind of officially get up and running. We're kind of still weighing on COVID and have to be mindful of all that junk, but once that gets smoothed out, yeah, man, I fully expect it to be up and rolling as well.
That brings a good question. Are you, so now you're going through, I mean, this is a pretty big expansion for the law enforcement side of the house. So does that mean there's going to be something for, you just said something about the kids. Is there going to be something for kids too?
Well, I don't know. And I say that from a mindset of, and you've been out to our place, you've seen some of our horses. They're not, how do I explain this? They're not like the trail ride up in Colorado with Royal Gorge horses, you know.
Nope.
They're not blindfold and put anybody on them. You know, we have all performance horses. You know, we're big in the reining cow horse world, reining world. We do hunter jumpers, dressage. I mean, we can teach all that stuff. I shouldn't say we.
Right.
Patrick can teach some of it. I can teach some of it. So our horses are there. We do this for a reason. We don't want veterans and first responders to come in here and not want to learn something and not have a horse to be able to teach them to do it all. Does that make sense?
Totally.
Yeah. So we have top-notch caliber horses, and we keep on, you know, we're in the process now of moving some of the older ones out and getting some newer, fresher ones in, so we can keep training and we can keep growing, because obviously the demand for what we do it just keeps going up. So the caliber of horses we have, I'm not sure would be appropriate for a kid setting.
No, I can.
Now that doesn't mean to say, you know, if your kiddo, you know, wants to come by and see one of the horses, hey, that's great. You know, that's a totally different deal. But as far as an official kid program, I'm not real sure on that yet.
No, I can totally no, but you're right. I mean, because one thing, the first things when I went out, well, I've been out there a few times already, and first time I went out there, Patrick was like, "So you know how to ride a horse, huh?" I'm like, "Yep," and he was like. It was almost like okay, it's put up or shut up. Let's see if you could ride. Let's see if you could ride a horse. I mean that you could ride a horse, you're good. If you're right. You definitely have to have a higher level. I was just kind of curious, maybe not having a kid horse program, but maybe bringing the little ones out to kind of show what horses can do. Kind of like give a horse class or a little session with something like that. I would just just throwing that out there to see if maybe that's
actually in the works.
Okay.
And Brett, we need to follow up on that tomorrow too with out of KCK Police Department, Kansas City, Kansas. They have a police athletic league, and it's pretty cool program. They have boxing, they have archery, they have all this stuff for these kiddos there. And as part of an incentive program that they have, we're actually working on bringing a couple of them out and you know, put them on a couple of horses, just kind of teach them as a kind of an incentive program. So yes, we are in the works with that. That is a possibility.
Okay. Yeah.
And you know, real quick, you were talking about impact from some of these agencies and feedback. I think one of the biggest things that we've seen is some of the officers and guys that come through and gals that come through our program, they come back and they come back and they come back. And you can see, like, for their first time there, the white knuckle holding the reins and just complete anxiety blowing through the roof. And then they get on the horse, and then we can't get them off. And then the next week, you get a text or call, hey, do you care if I come out? Hey, not a problem. I got a group come out. And they just keep coming back, and they're finding a place, a sacred place, to breathe again. And, some of these people that have been through our program, they help us teach some of the classes as well. What better way than, to learn from your own? And they can sit in the same, saddle and say, hey, I was here 2 months ago and I was on the ledge myself. So we're seeing people come back, and they're really grasping what the program's about, and tactical longevity.
That's awesome.
They're learning to have a longevity in their life, their career, their family, their spouse, and then they start bringing kids back. We had a grill out one weekend out there, and we had 20 people show up, and they had, hey, can we bring our kids out next time? Absolutely. And it's just a good third-party community where people can be open, trusting, and just really connect with themselves, and you're just seeing a really good feedback from that.
Yeah, that was more of the. I mean, I could really see that being a huge impact too, especially when they're coming back. I mean, that right there just really shows that that you're trusted. You know what I mean? You guys are trusted. That
right.
You guys are really providing the assistance, because I know you get to that anxiety point, and when I went out there the very first time, I was still in. So there was even Patrick was like, dude, you look like you could pull one of these freaking horses, man. You need to chill. you okay, man? So no, I can see that, like you said, that white knuckle anxiety, or the awkwardness of being on a horse. Tell us, just give us an average. Then what would be a normal standard Leo program? What would be a peace officer going through the process? What would they go through when they come do a session?
Usually, they usually run from about 9 to 3 ish. Sometimes we're there till about 5 o'clock. Really, we don't really rush the process. So you'd come in about 9 o'clock, and we all meet in the lounge, and I kind of just give you a briefing of what we're going to do today, right? Like I said before, nobody likes unknowns, and we cover the necessary paperwork, and then we get right to it. And that's the beauty of it, is we don't really waste any time. We go straight to work. So we go down and we grab some horses, and we start learning about the horses. And as the individuals are cleaning up the horses and getting them ready, that's when I really start talking about the basics of horsemanship, and just the overview of the horse, and the different components, and why horses do what they do, and why they move a certain way. And from there, man, we take them right up, and then we start one-on-one on basic leadership. And we start off in round pins and learning how to control a horse just with our body language and the simple movements. And you'd be amazed at how many people that really messes with their mind, especially in law enforcement, where we really function on an ask, tell, make principle. I'm going to ask you to do it. I'm going to tell you, and then it's hands on. We're going to town.
Yep.
And I always tell, especially law enforcement individual, I always tell them, here, look, I need you to gain control of this horse and move his feet, but you can't talk to him and you can't touch him. And they just give up. They take maybe 2 steps, and they turn around and come right back. And I'm like, what's the problem? And they're like, well, I can't do this. I speak at all, so talking to him is not going to help.
Right.
And if you can't pick him up, there's really no reason to put your hands on him. So horses are 99.9% body language is how they communicate. It's 72-75% of our language is body language. Why don't you use it, in your everyday conversation? And then they start really realizing how much of an impact their body language is actually telling people. And then they start displaying that towards horses and start using that to direct and control the horse. And before you know it, they're like, oh, this makes perfect sense. You see the light bulbs start flickering, and then they start coming on. You're like, okay, they got it. So then that usually leads us up to about lunchtime. And then we go in and we get put in a food coma. Not by Bret, but by one of our chefs that we have make a pretty awesome meal. And we kind of just take our time after lunch, and usually we get back at it, and then we go tack all the horses up, And some of the ones that we haven't used before, we make sure they're nice and warmed up, and then we're on their back doing the same thing that we did with them during some of the suppling movements and stuff, the ground stuff that we teach them. They're doing it on top of their back, and before you know it, man, they're riding all over the place, and they're happy-go-lucky, and their attitudes totally changed. And we had one guy, and I'm like, hey man, it's 5 o'clock. I'd like to go home. You know, the horse is smoked, he's soaking wet. You mind if we? Oh yeah. So they lose all track of time, which is good, right?
Right.
Totally
it
taking
is.
their mind off of everything else that was going on, refocused, and then those individuals end up coming back on their own, like Bret was saying, and that's the whole purpose of it. You know, take their mind off what they have going on in their everyday life, give them something good to focus on, something positive, and it just grows from there. It's been pretty cool.
And you can really see when we get comments, you know, from sergeants that may be there, or, you know, some of the commanders like, man, I haven't seen that guy smile in months, or I haven't seen so-and-so laugh out loud in 6 months. And you really see, it's crazy. You got to see it in person, but you really see magic on people's faces when they're out there. And you just see that stress and trauma ease out of their toes, and it's just gone. And it's amazing to see and to hear people comment on stuff like that. It really means a lot to us, because we know, hey, it's working, and it's working well.
About how long are the sessions? What's the average time do you have these guys in? I mean, I don't want to call them a session because it really it goes with the flow. So what's your average session time? I guess you would say. I guess as a question.
They're there usually for about 6 to 8 hours. Usually is how long they're there. But you know, ever since the COVID thing started happening, we did a lot of more one-on-one stuff. So we always tell them, hey, look, if you'd like to come back, shoot myself or Brett a text message. We'll set up a time for you to come back. And that becomes a reoccurring thing. I mean, we got you know, guys and gals that just pop in throughout the day, and that's great. You know, that they feel comfortable enough that they can just show up. You know, I'm like, hey, come on in and hang out, get some lunch, you know, take a nap, get a cup of coffee, whatever. You know, that they're relaxed enough to do that and understand that that's their place and they can come whenever they want to. That's great.
So what's next? I mean, what's the big? I mean, because you're so far, so you got a law enforcement. Are you guys still doing the Warhorse games? Are you participating in stuff like that with these Leos? I mean, because I know we talked about that the last time I was out there. You guys were. Am I revealing too many secrets if I say we were talking about Warhorse games and having like team sports events with the cops, or is that too soon? Or am I revealing secrets?
No, we did the Warhorse games. It was
Good.
virtual this year.
Did.
Yeah, they did it virtual this year.
Okay.
They had a pretty good showing. You know, it's going to depend. You know, Patrick's probably going to pull some strings on that and see what he's got in store for 2021. So
I'm just kind of seeing what's the next evolution on that. Is the Warhorse games gonna? I mean, Kansas. We were just talking about the COVID stuff too. What's the mitigation factors for COVID right now? What's the Kansas? Is it you got to wear masks? You still have to do social distancing. What's the?
Yeah, I mean, obviously the social distancing thing it's still kind of it's still you know, a requirement. However, we try to keep the groups on the LEO side just usually 6 to 8, so we have plenty of space to spread out. Masks, they're not required. If you want to wear a mask, that's great. I don't know if any horses have got COVID yet, so I'm not really worried about the horses.
I mean, it's funny, but can it be transferred to horses? I mean, did you guys even think about that, or is that can they?
Man, I don't know. Me and the wife had a conversation about this other night because I could have swore I heard somewhere like last year about a dog getting COVID, and I'm like, hey, it can happen. You know?
Exactly.
So who knows?
I'm just wondering. Yeah, that would be a concern if a horse got one. I mean, because the horses are. If a horse doesn't sneeze on you, then you've not ridden horses. So I was just wondering, if it's affected to the equine world. So basically, when these Leos come in, it's either one-on-one or there's social distancing or is it a full session? How many people do you normally run in a session?
Yeah, it's about 6 to 8 at a time. So we actually have about 3, 4, I guess. The fourth one's kind of still in the making with the spouse program, but we actually have 3 or 4 different programs that we offer to the first responder side of the house.
Oh, wow.
The first one is the one-day clinics that we're talking about, which we really focus on leadership and communication, and just all of that through horsemanship, right? And the second one is like our peer support clinics that we do. They're also 9 to 3, but we really focus on communication and listening aspect of it, because that's your role as a peer support person. Is you're not there to talk, you're
Right.
there to listen, to what the problems are.
Right.
And then the third one we do, which is really pretty badass, is we are in partnership with MARC, which is downtown Kansas City. That's Mid-America Regional Council, and they host a lot of trainings for first responders and that sort of thing. So our forensic psychologist, Dr. Prohaska, she teaches a 4-day command level peer support course. And the fourth day is taught actually at our facility. And we have all these chiefs of police, battalion chiefs, deputy chiefs, you name it, going through about a 6-hour course of leadership and communication. And dude, that's the best part, because I'm not in the game anymore. So I'm like, what are you going to do to me? You can't fire me. So I really get to bust some chops on all these commanders. Hey, treat your people right, knock off the micromanagement. So
Yeah.
I'm kind of a sounding board for all the lower enlisted, which is awesome.
Yeah, I remember you talking about doing something like that. I can't remember, you were talking about tactical feedback or tactical, I can't remember what it was. You said
longevity. Tactical
longevity. That's what it was. That's right. I remember that now. Yep. You were talking about that. And I was like, I was curious to see, because when you talked about it, you'd not done that yet. So what's their reaction when you tell them that? What's their,
well,
do they look at you like?
They're like a cat staring at a new gate, right? They're like, what did you just say, boy? And I'm like, hey, look, you can't do that to me. You came to me, I didn't come to you.
Right.
So, man, it's been awesome. But we really talk about the leadership styles and how that person is wired to process information. Then, especially when I ask them to do the thing we talked about earlier, you can't touch them, can't talk to them, but gain control of this horse. Man, I'll tell you what, all different kind of styles come out. You start seeing the bully mentality come out. I actually had one guy almost chest bump this horse. He was a big, just a great big guy. He's a super nice guy, but he actually bullied the horse, and the horse listened to him. And I remember specifically turn around, and I don't know if it was Bret or Patrick. I looked at it and I said, well, that's new. I've never seen that tactic before, but I guess it works. So I'm constantly learning too, which is great. But yeah, these commanders, man, their minds are kind of blown because they try to micromanage. They try to put this horse in a box. And I'm like, listen, man, you can't cage a rat. If you try to put this guy in the fence, you're going to catch a right hook and you ain't going to like it.
Right.
So I have to tell them, listen, this is why I'm telling you, good leadership, it's a necessity, when you're dealing with people. And if you're asking, I always use the analogy, I tell them, hey, look, if you're asking the person, just say you're a patrolman, hey, I need this report by 2:00. Don't go to it on 11, at 12, and at 1. No, wait until 2:00. You have to give your person a chance to fail, give your people a chance to fail, give your horse a chance to fail before he can learn, right? If you do anything before then, we're just going to piss him off, and you're just going to create resentment, and he's saying, I hate you.
Right.
So it really starts playing this big picture in their head, like, oh man, I just did that yesterday to this guy. I'm like, yeah, and you wonder why the guy wants to, beat your ass. Like, quit treating people like that, like treat them like adults, like they are. You gave them a gun, like, good night. Do you not trust the guy? So it really starts putting things in perspective for them. But I really think it took them being put in this environment with someone like myself and Bret and Patrick and, all our mentors, being really open and honest with them and saying, listen, we got a problem and we got to fix it right now. This is the problem. And, this is the whole thing that we've been working on for the last year. And, obviously with the chain of events that have happened, we need more training for police. We need more of this, more of that. I'm the guy standing in the background waving my hand, like, hey, this is exactly what we teach,
Exactly.
Send them here, we'll do this.
Right.
So it's been awesome for these guys.
Right. And
it's been cool.
So Bret, do you do any outreach? Do you reach out to other agencies out there to say, hey, look, this is what we do for law enforcement. This is what we do in some of the higher, I guess you would say the higher flag, because you're not hearing too much. I don't want to say drama, but you're not hearing a lot of stuff happening in and around the Kansas City metro area, but have you reached out to, like, I don't know, Minneapolis or Detroit and say, or Chicago and say, hey, you guys want to come out here and,
not officially. The furthest I think that we've reached, actually, Jason got an email a couple weeks ago from an agency over in St. Louis inquiring about it. So we actually had people from CIT, I think it's Crisis Intervention Team or Training, and they're nationwide. It's a standardized training, and it's basically to train officers and first responders how to deal with, high stress people, high anxiety, people that are going through a mental crisis. And so they came out to our program. We had a class going on, and they were invited out, and they basically vetted us over an entire day. Maybe I think it was 2 days they came out, but they went through the program. They got to ask questions. They got to ask, talk to the people in the program. And we made such an impact on them. They put us on their website for the state of Missouri as a resource for first responders. So
oh, wow.
I can see it starting to reach that way on the Kansas side. I'm still working on that. But, I reach out to a lot of the local agencies right now, just because there's so many of them. I mean, I'm thinking KCK, Kansas City, Kansas PD, I think they have around 300-ish officers. KCMO is supposed to have around 1,300. And I would say Johnson County, Kansas, they're probably sitting around 500 to 700, officers total, and that's including the sheriff's department. So there's a lot that we're busy with just in Kansas City. I know Patrick and I have talked down the road. We, and Jason as well, we want to broaden our horizon and maybe put like satellite hubs out eventually. But right now we're really focusing on Kansas City. But we'll, absolutely, if people reach out to us, we'll see what we can do.
What are the on a more serious note? What is your psychologist saying about the statistics of Leo suicide or battle and distress? What has she provided any feedback about that to kind of like get those individuals? Will we be considered more high risk to get involved in your program?
Yeah. So what we actually do, since we are not a licensed facility, it's not something that they can mandate, right? So if you are, seeing specifically the psychologist that we work with, she can't tell you, hey, look, I'm mandating you go through this program, go out and see these guys. She can't do that. What she can do is say, hey, I know about this program. If you like horses, these guys are really cool. If you want to check them out, I can set that up. You just let me know. So I'll get probably, I don't know, Brett, 2 or 3 people every other week, just depends, what's going on and those people's availability. I know manpower is kind of an issue all over the place right now. So,
right.
But yeah, she refers me people on a weekly basis, and those guys and gals, they just shoot me a text and say, hey, when's a good time to come out? And I'm like, well, I'm there usually every day. You just let me know, and whatever works for them, we try to accommodate their schedule and make it happen. I mean, that's kind of how we do it now on the one-on-one scale,
right?
Which is great. These guys are getting what they need. We're still accomplishing the mission that we set out to do, and it's a win-win for everybody. So it's good.
Right. I was just wondering because it would be one of those. I know the statistic on first responder and battle and distress and suicide. Those are some of the stats that you rarely hear about.
Right.
And I was just curious, it's just something that could provide some assistance. Because we have in the military or the VA they have different resources, but I'm just wondering, do you guys know of a law enforcement battle and distress type of resource? Do you guys know of anything in the Kansas City area?
I think there are other programs out there, but I think I don't know if they're as how do I say this, like accessible as we are. You can just shoot Brett or myself or Patrick a text message and set something up. I don't know if it's that easy, or if it's more like an organized program. Like,
gotcha.
Yeah, man, we can get you in here in 3 weeks and put you through this 6-day program. Well, you know what? That some people, they need that. I mean, let's face it, everybody's wired different,
Right.
But I think what most guys and gals really need is just a place where they can go get away from everything for a day. Just come out here, let us take care of you. Let's just teach you about horses, make you some lunch or go buy you lunch or whatever we got to do. Let us accommodate you for a day. Change your focus a little bit, take your mind off everything, get you to relax, and then the future, see what the future holds. If you want to come back the next day or the day after, hey, great. So let us know, we'll work it out. So I think that's more what some of the people I know are looking for, rather than a really regimented 6-day program, 5-day, whatever it is.
Right.
I think that's really what they're looking for more than anything.
Now, and along those lines, with suicide and law enforcement, and I'm sure Jason can talk about this too. In the last, I'd say 10-ish years, suicide and law enforcement was very taboo. If you took your own life, most of the time, people that would go to your funeral, you're not allowed to wear a uniform to it, because you didn't die in the line of duty.
Oh, shit.
And that's just the way it is. It was very taboo. We didn't talk about feelings, because if I went to go get help, then I'm putting my family in jeopardy, because they could take my gun. They could say, no, you're not fit anymore. And so people would just bury it down inside themselves. I would say, especially in the last, 5 to 8 years, a lot of agencies are really saying, hey, we're losing a lot of people to suicide, people quitting, alcoholism, drug use, and we have to fix it. And so the stigma of I need help has drastically changed in the last several years. They have EAP programs, and it's just, back in the day, it wasn't talked about, and you weren't part of, dying in honor, should we say.
Right.
And so now you're having departments and department commanders saying, hey, we need to get people help. We need to invest in people. And, in comes, Dr. Prohaska and, some of the other forensic psychologists. It's, hey, this is a big deal. If we want, go back to it, longevity in our officers, then we need to get them young. We need to get them what they need. We need decompression days, because they do. They go through a lot. It's that cumulative stress over years. And, about 8-9 years, you're burnout for law enforcement. And so if you can get them in there before that, around there, and rejuvenate those people, get them another purpose, you see success. And you're starting to see a lot more people say, hey, this is here. We need to address this problem.
No, I only say that because you're right. It's literally almost the same as the military about addressing that type of. You want to remove the stigma from that, and I was just curious about some of the statistics and does mainstream law enforcement do they recognize it now? Is it becoming more, I guess you would say, easily to talk about? And not so much someone talking about going through it, but I'm just saying, is it now at least within mainstream Leos that they're, hey, yep, this is something we need to hit. Are they talking about it at least?
I would say it's an uneasy conversation at this point.
Okay.
But I do think that it's changing for the good. People are saying, hey, we have resources. We have, budgets and money for this. We need to get our people some help, because in the end, even like our program, we might be able to get you a 5-year to be a 10-year cop, or a 10-year cop to be a 15 or 20-year cop, instead of a 5 to 8, and then I'm done and I'm out, and then you're looking for more people and you can't find them.
Right.
Because nobody, is lining up to do the job right now. It's
right.
hard.
Right. No, I couldn't even imagine just being able to have to navigate your family, have to navigate your work, have to navigate. Well, not only so much navigating your work, but I'm talking about the admin. Not when you're out in the field on the beat. I'm talking about your just normal squad team room, behavior, or dealing with those politics, or dealing with those policies, and then on top of being out on the street doing whatever field you're doing, especially if you're, like you said, you guys were in SRT or doing SWAT or high crisis, that's gotta take a toll, because you guys it's not like a soldier going out and deploying 9 months at a time or almost a year at a time, and they're back home and there's resources. I mean, Leos are doing it every day. You know what I mean? So, God, it's tough, man. Go ahead. You were gonna say something, Jason. I saw you. I see your face. I see you breathing. Go ahead. What's up?
No. I was just. You're right, man. It's just a crazy. It's a roller coaster ride. It really is. You go from one thing to the next and to the next, and it's totally different. It's almost like you get in the car and you're like, man, I don't want to hit that in service button, because as soon as I do, it's game on. You know what I mean? And Brett will tell you this too, and so will every other first responder out there. That you may not eat that day, and it's not because you didn't want to. It's just because you didn't get a chance, and you're so busy, and you're in time. If you get off at 2:00 in the afternoon or 2:00 in the morning, that doesn't mean you're off. You still got 4 or 5 hours of paperwork to do.
Right.
And,
right.
It's a constant thing. And like Brett was talking about the burnout rate, our goal is to surround you with enough positive things and kind of give you that purpose you once had back, so you can continue to do that. Guys like me who are retired now, I need that. I need those people to be there and be good cops and do their job.
Right, exactly. I hear you. Well, gents, Brett and Jason, thank you guys so much for hanging out with us, man.
Absolutely.
Thanks for having us.
This is a pleasure to always have you guys. You guys have been friends of the station since we were born, so we love you guys. You guys can always come back and give us an update. Like I said, when it gets warmer and the ice gets it starts to melt off, then I'll swing by and visit again, and then I'll this time I won't be. I'm just gonna devote Warhorse time and just chill until Patrick says, "Get out of here, Ken. You're
yeah.
You're eating all our food."
Let's do it, man. We sure appreciate the support, and thanks for having us on to talk about it, man. Appreciate it.
Absolutely. Thank you very much.
Awesome. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and shoot the breeze with Brett and Jason while we take a break right quick. So everyone go ahead, refill your glasses, go get some shots, and then we'll be right back with the last half of the Monday edition. So we'll be right back. Shots.
Sanctuary I provide.
It's my place. Right here, right now. I'm better without you. You're always on my mind. But right here, right now. I'm better without you. I've done this for some time. But right now, I know that I'm better on my own.
Wear a condom? We're in Fayetteville. No one gets STDs here.
The voice of U.S. Army, WTF Moments. This is WTF Nation Radio.
And we're back. Oh, man. That was fun. Did you listen to that, Shipwreck? Got in the conversation?
Definitely. It was a good interview.
Yeah,
I didn't
dude.
realize they started LEO stuff. That's pretty. Really
Yeah,
cool.
dude. They just started doing that. It was first discussed way back in the day. Well, as like I said last time, we saw each other. We hung out. And it was about a couple years ago. I've been out there to Kansas a few times anyway, so it seems like it's a long time. But yeah, I think COVID kind of jacked things up. But yeah, I'm so glad they were able to come on and shoot the breeze. Like I said, that was so awesome because I know they were talking about it before, and they were talking about stuff for also the Leo spouse support thing too. So I thought that was pretty cool. So again, Bret and Jason from War Horses of Veterans, thank you guys so much for hanging out. So if you guys see the website, we got posted in the chats and in the comments, and also posted onto the post itself of excellence, Horses of Excellence. That's right, Cause. Again, these guys are a great group to shoot the breeze with, hang out. And there's, again, primarily focused right now on this show was the Leo side of the house, but we know they also have the veteran side. Combat veterans can apply and just get with them and then hit them up, and they'll be able to hook it up. But like I said, tonight's focus was mostly on the law enforcement side of the house, and obviously we know what's been going on with Leos lately, that they've been pretty taxed and that's what I was just wondering about them having coming out to crisis areas. Like, could you imagine like being a cop in Chicago and then all of a sudden decompressing with something like that? I think would be kind of cool.
Yeah, it was actually an eye opener for me. I didn't realize really nothing out there for law enforcement.
Well, it was eye opening for me because I didn't realize it as well. I'm just kind of like, I don't know.
It's a good program.
Yeah, I just didn't.
Law enforcement does see some crazy shit.
Well, right. I was saying, like Jason said, he was just talking about his day on the job and first day on the job, and then I was just thinking, we have all these military resources out there, but we don't have anything for Leos. At least I don't see anything for Leos. So I'm glad that's now starting to get to it because, yeah, support the cops, don't like the cops. We're all. It's almost like military and veterans and law enforcement individuals, we have a different mindset or mentality when it comes to certain things, and there are just some things when it comes to discussing things that would be, I don't know, considered a stigma, like Bret was saying. It's one of those subjects that you don't talk about when it comes to behavioral health or suicide awareness or just reaching out to somebody. It wasn't.
We got to overcome that for everyone, military and law enforcement.
Right. Yeah. I mean, these guys are deploying every day.
Yep.
We're not. It's unless you're deployed and doing the stuff. Leos are out there doing the stuff every freaking day, having to deal with everything, and then dealing with the job. But anyways, so yeah, man, it was a great show. Eye opening again to see some of the stuff they've been working on, and of course, hope you all were able to catch some of the photos. I mean, if you download this podcast, you won't, but you can go ahead and just listen to us on all the other platforms and see it. That was Bret Cortright and Jason Klepac from War Horses for Veterans. But dude, we got a packed week this week.
Oh, we do?
Yeah, we got more guests. I think what are y'all doing in the front desk? You guys are just like, I don't know, just dropping these guests like real quick, and I'm like, I didn't realize we had some guests coming on here, so I'm like, this is kind of cool.
Well, we're trying to get you guests. You can get more hosts going and more shows.
Well, I mean, I think CQ is like really. I mean, he is that dude is all over it when it comes to his guests. He's got a surprise guest coming on. He's got like a mini surprise guest tomorrow, and he's got a guest also tomorrow. He's got Megan Wilcoxon. She's coming on to talk about her webcomic Scuttlebutt. If you guys know what Scuttlebutt is, that's like the Navy term for, I don't know, water cooler talk, rumint. What we say in the Army, we say rumint. Rumor control. So what's the scuttlebutt about so-and-so? What's the scuttlebutt about? Hey, I heard what happened in the office, or I heard what happened on the deployment. What's the scuttlebutt on that? So it's kind of Navy talkish. So she's going to come on here and talk about Navy stuff, more ridiculous things that sailors put up with throughout their time in the Navy days. So that'd be kind of cool. I don't think we've ever had anybody from the Navy come on here and shoot the shit about stuff like that. And then this Thursday for Sergeant's Time, we're going to have Colonel Jonathan Chung, the commander of the 2nd Striker Brigade Combat Team, 2nd ID, the Lancer Brigade Combat Team. You guys need to check out some of their social media accounts. It's pretty cool. They have a pretty good setup when it comes to their podcast, their Warrior podcast, and it's I don't know, I like it. It's pretty good for meal stuff. I know some of the military podcasts, they're now starting to catch up or trying to be. I don't know. Do you want to say they're trying to be like us, or just?
Why reinvent the wheel?
Well, I'm about to say they do say that imitation is another form of flattery, but I'll just say that. But the Lance Brigade has had some pretty good products out there and some great leadership discussions and all that. And of course, with General Brunson out there, Xavier Brunson from the 7th ID, he's out there and has been on a couple of their podcasts too. So I think we're trying to get him as a guest too. Hopefully, he can come on here and shoot the breeze with us too. The Lancer Brigade combat team is prepared to go to war and win. Their leaders and soldiers thrive in conditions of uncertainty and stress and have physical and mental toughness to overcome every obstacle. And they live the warrior ethos, develop and grow adaptive leaders, which are empowered to use their initiative and take prudent risks, exploit opportunities to accomplish the mission. And they're coming on to tell us about their unit and their new podcast, The Leadership Experience. And you guys know, of course, we usually get videos or B-roll of an organization and slap it up there to see what they have and show their wares off. So when he comes on here, he's like Colonel Muster. He's a young looking dude. You can't believe this guy's a colonel. This guy's a young looking colonel. I mean, everyone's like, God, these colonels are like, they're, what's their skin treatment? What was it like Gabrielle said on Colonel Muster's chat or discussion last week? What's their
hang out with celebrities?
I don't know what it is, man. Yeah, I don't know what it could be. Maybe the Tom Brady treatment or something like that. I don't know. I shouldn't say that. Friday, we're going to have Ryan Paul Wilson. He's an Air Force veteran to shoot the breeze about his nonprofit organization, Hanoi's Lost Child Foundation, is raising the event and to help fellow veterans participate in Helicopter for Heroes near Dallas. He's going to be on with Friday Night Freedom with Pookie and Kaz. And then next Thursday is the big event. The big event. The Command Sergeant Major, John Foley of USAREC, U.S. Army Recruiting Command. I'm going to say that again. The Command Sergeant Major of USAREC is coming on next Thursday for Sergeant's Time. We just did some comms checks with their PEO shop and all that. It's going to be fun. It's going to be great. Make sure, like I said before, if you are a detailed recruiter, 79 Romeo, whatever, make sure you drop your questions, inundate the inbox at contact@WTFNationRadio.com if you want to send an email. Send a DM on Twitter at WTFNationRadio.com, or you can go to the WTF Nation Radio's Facebook page and send a DM there and hit the inbox and say, hey, look, here's a question that I got for Command Sergeant Major Foley. He's going to be on here to talk about the Army's recruiting mission and how everyone can help be part of it. Soldier for life stuff, current active duty, retired, veterans and stuff like that. So I'm excited, dude. I'm gonna have that's command, dude. This is Sergeant Major USAREC coming on, man.
Yo,
trying to be excited, bro. You're just gushing with emotion right now. Please calm down.
I'm just trying to hold it back. I got so many questions.
You have so many. No, please, no, stop right now, please.
My mind's twirling,
Hold it, please. No, we really want you to calm down. No, stop shipwreck you.
I can't be on that one. I got so many questions on my house.
What about the army? About army recruiting and stuff like that? Everyone else has got a question about that. But I mean, now, come on, we don't want to ask no stupid questions. these are some of the questions that you're going to want to ask that have to do with that stuff. And I will say that we have been fair to every leader that's come on WTF Nation Radio. We don't do the gotcha games and shit like that. There might be a question that they are uncomfortable being asked, but I'm not going to sit there and just like riddle the.
I just want to know more about their AI program that automatically calls out in text message.
Ooh, yeah, that is kind of scary, isn't it? That is kind of freaky. So, but anyways,
wasn't supposed to say that. Give them a heads up, right?
What's that?
Wasn't supposed to say that. Give them a heads up on what might
No,
be
well, I mean, we could, yeah, I mean, not really give them a heads up, but we could talk. I mean, they know what's coming up. They've been listening. They've been listening to us.
Uh-oh.
They've been listening to us too. They've been like, ooh, what's going on? Who are these guys talking? But yeah, I think it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be a fun show to have Sarmy Foley come on here and shoot the breeze. And like I said, there's some questions that he may not be aware of some of the questions that are out there in the force, out in the recruiting world. You never know. But we'll catch everybody up on that. So again, you can download us on Apple Podcasts or Google Play. Go to all the other 14 platforms that we're on. And of course, you can listen to us on YouTube, Facebook, yada yada, Twitch. What other ones, man? I just kind of like, shit. We got 14 of them. If you want, you can reach them. Just all you gotta do, just Google WTFNationRadio.com, and bam, you'll have like 10 search pages to download the latest shows. We're gonna be uploading this podcast. Normally, it takes 24 to 48 hours to populate through all of our things, or you can just listen to us on the TuneIn app as well. That also comes on, or Twitter on Periscope if you don't choose to use any of the other social media platforms that you may not feel like you want to use or whatever. We got a show 4 times a week. 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time is our show times, and if we got a guest that come on normally at 9 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Monday edition, of course, you're listening to right now, and then on Tuesdays, Pop Culture Warrior with CQ and the Uncultured Radar. Thursday, Sergeant's Time with myself and Spanky, and then Friday is Friday Night Freedom with Kaz and Pookie, and we're off for the weekend, and we're off on Wednesday. So with that, y'all have a good night. Thank you so much again for shooting the breeze with us, and thank you again, Bret and Jason from Warhorse Veterans, for catching us up on the Leo program. So with that, you got any last words you want to say? You got any? Because we're being told to do inspirational comments and quotes, or so I gotta, I got you gotta do your little sayings, like how, like on Saturday Night Live, like a safety brief, like Saturday Night, deep thoughts. Back in the day, and they used to have that old show, Deep Thoughts with Jack Handy. It takes a big man to cry.
Stay warm and stay cozy.
All right, cool. All right, well, mine's going to be, if you want to know who you are, it's important to know who you've been. With that, y'all have a good night, and shots.
Hey, this is SEAC retired John Wayne Troxel. You're listening to WTF Nation Radio, the station of choice for all of the badass MFers on the planet.
The voice of U.S. Army, WTF Moments. This is WTF Nation Radio.
Our
intergalactic horse, and we'll ride into the sun, yes, into the sun, where we'll take the day by planting a flag right there at its source. Space Force. They say that they've discovered life up there on Mars, so let's blow it all to hell and then claim it for ours. We'll paint the moon red, white, and blue for no other reason than we wanted to. Oh, Jupiter, imagine what you could become. A stupid, pointless planet turned into a giant gun. And Russia, so sorry, have to burst your bubble. Be a good sport, now sit back, relax, and watch us through the hubble as we celebrate the greatness of the United Planet of America. Space Force, Space Force. We'll saddle up our intergalactic horse and we'll ride into the sun, yes, into the sun, where we'll take the day by planting a flag right there at its source. Space Force. Now we'll go to infinity and beyond, beyond. You'll hear our manly voices singing Space Force strong. The critics say sound doesn't travel in space, to which we reply sound will do as we say. Oh, Captain Kirk, your achievements, though notable and fine, as far as we're concerned, this is Deep Space Mine. And big fans, but Lord Vader, step away from the lightsaber. There can only be one, of course. Space Force. Ra-da-da-da-da-da, ra-da-da, ra-da-da, ra-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-dum, dum, 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 ra-da-da-da-da-da, ra-da-da, ra-da-da, ra-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-dum, dum, 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 dum. Space Force, Space Force. We'll saddle up our intergalactic horse and we'll ride into the sun, yes, into the sun, where we'll take the day by planting a flag right there at its source. Space Force. Space Force.
Everything stated on WTF Nation Radio is to be considered the opinion of the person that stated it, and not an official representation of WTF Nation Radio or U.S. Army WTF Moments.
Price does not include tax, title, or license. Some assembly required. Each item sold separately. Batteries not included. Objects in mirror are closer than they appear. If conditions persist, contact a physician. Individual results may vary. Keep out of the reach of children. Avoid prolonged exposure to direct sunlight. Keep in a cool, dark place. And
please enjoy the show. Shots.